Hello, Rise Up Visionaries. I'm Susan May, and I'm here to share my journey and my random ramblings to inspire you to tune into your intuition so you can begin your journey of unplugging. So, what day are we on? Today is day 6 of the 12 Days of Christmas, my gift to you this year. I've just been going live every weekday for a few short minutes to share some thoughts on what I believe are really, really powerful and important steps towards you achieving the life that you long for and that you deserve. And for the past 5 days, I've been talking about how do you feel and wanting you to really tune into what your feelings are and also to pay attention to what you do when you're experiencing less than comfortable feelings. If you're feeling sad or angry or just anything uncomfortable, what are your go-to mechanisms? So we are going to move on to step 2 today, and that is defining how do you want to feel. And so this idea really came onto my radar. I can show you. I made this in 2013, and it was inspired by a woman named Danielle LaPorte, and she has a whole book called The Desire Map. She also wrote the Fire Starter Sessions. I think that was her first book that I read. And I asked in one of my groups recently, are you a self-help junkie? Because I kind of am. I've always been drawn to those books that help me explore my inner world and help me try to be a better person and keep me motivated. And so in 2013, I had read, actually probably 2012, come to think of it, because I made this map for 2013. So I didn't buy her formal program. I made up my own idea of what my desire map should look like. But I had read her book, and the key idea was to define and to really identify how do I want to feel. And so these were my core desired feelings. I wanted to feel connected, on fire, so I guess you could call that passionate, would be another way of saying that, peaceful, I bet you're not surprised by that one, and my fourth one was valuable. And so these were like feelings that I really, really wanted to have. And then what I did is I ended up putting all sorts of other kind of like sub feelings around here, around the outside. You can see I have flexible, playful, engaged, inspired. And I kind of put them like playful, I put between connected and on fire. And flow, you can see the flow here. You know how I love that word flow. This is back in 2013, guys. I put flow between on fire and peaceful. And I actually talked about this, I think, with my friend Laura Swain in that interview I did with her last month. Even when I chose these feelings, on fire and peaceful, I had this inner tension of, well, how can that be? How can I possibly feel passionate and on fire, but also peaceful? And I said just recently to my friend, I am feeling it right now. I am completely on fire for life. I'm loving what I'm doing. But I also just feel a deep contentment and happiness, and it keeps increasing, to be honest. I'm starting to feel more balanced, which that was a blog post I wrote a long time ago. I'm pretty sure I even used the F word. I was like, F balance, because it felt, the word balance to me at that time felt like a judgment, or it felt like something that maybe I couldn't ever achieve, being a mom with young children. But I'm starting to actually feel like I can achieve it, which feels really amazing. So why is this so important? I haven't read Danielle LaPorte's book since then, and actually I want to reread it. But from what I remember and my gut feeling is that it's just like any goal, okay? And actually, I think I do remember that this was one of her things. Instead of setting goals of like, what do I want to do? She said, set your goals on how do you want to feel. And this resonated with me so much, because if you know how you want to feel, you will start changing your behaviors, okay? And that has been my whole year this year. From moving in January to Florida, My good friend died in January, which was obviously very difficult. I had a lot of grief to move through. I quit Facebook, I think in February or March. And that process of quitting and deleting my old account, it literally felt like a detox. I could feel myself becoming calmer, becoming more present in my life every day. And so I kind of knew I had to change what I was doing. And I had gotten into these habits in 2020 of really seeking information, seek, always more, wanting to know what's going to happen, wanting to change what was coming, feeling fearful, wanting to change others, wanting to get others to see things my way. And so I knew that I wanted that to change. And this is kind of how you can do it. You need to define how do you want to feel in life. If you're not feeling how you want to feel, that means you need to change what you're doing. And so I can honestly say I have seen that in my life this year. As I have changed my small habits and my big habits, it takes time. It's not an overnight thing, but you will start to change how you feel every day, and it is quite amazing. So that is my question for you today. How do you want to feel? And I want you to really think about that. We're heading into a new year, 2022, in about 2 weeks. It's a great time of year to really reflect on things, reflect on what you want to create in your life, in your family, in your community. And when you start creating that, you are going to be amazed at, when you feel good, how things unfold in your life and how you're able to influence in a positive way those around you. So that's my message for you today. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what direction I'm going to go in. If you have anything you'd like to ask me, I'd love to share. My podcast interview with Tom Woods, I was on his podcast, should be out sometime tonight. He said it could be late. If not, definitely tomorrow you should be able to listen to it, which I am excited and slightly scared about, but it should be awesome. I am actually planning to go live just now in my private group. So if you haven't joined my private group, Gather and Get Moving, go ahead and request, because I am going to share some personal stories there now. So I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, be bold, be brave, be you, because who else is there to be? Bye. I'll see you tomorrow for day 7.